Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It is sad. It's really sad, the loss of human life. And I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but Renee Nicole Good, nor her wife, they are not innocent victims. They are far from it. They were up to no good. It now turns out, as we know, that Renee Nicole Good's wife was antagonizing ICE agents and even urged her spouse to, quote, drive, baby, drive, just moments before the fatal shooting in Minneapolis. These poor ICE officers that have been vilified. And now we know who the good guys were and who the bad guys were. This as the left continues to intensify the rhetoric. And, you know, folks, has the left learned nothing? Have you learned nothing? Do you have no shame? Maybe you don't know this new information yet. These two, the wife and wife, I guess we say, they antagonize the ICE officers. You'll hear the audio in just 1 second. Dominic Carter here with you, the Friday edition. We see all your phone calls coming in right now. 800-848-9222. But I'm beginning with this. Kamala. Why did Kamala select Tim Walz, Governor Dum Dum, the liar, as her running mate? Why did she do it? Why? I always thought she didn't want someone to overshine her as the top of the ticket. But you know, this young YouTube independent journalist, Nick Shirley, this guy, his game is pretty tight. Okay? And sometimes young blood can do things that we journalists have been around for decades can't uncover. And he's proving that. So Nick Shirley is answering the question, the interesting question, and it makes a lot of sense. I want you to listen to this. Why did Kamala pick Tim Walz as her running mate?
You know what's interesting about Tim Walz? Why do you think Kamala Harris chose Tim Walz? Nobody knew who he was before.
Why? That is interesting.
The first day he's chosen, he raises the most amount of money than any other candidate in history. I think it's over $35 million he raised for the campaign within just a day of being selected to become the vice president. And now we know all this fraud's happening. How did Tim Walz, he used to be a high school football coach. He's not even from Minnesota. He's from Nebraska. How was he able to raise the most amount of money?
That's great. Do you think the Somalians were funding it?
100%. It had to be some sort of fraud.
1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 = 2. Always. So we know that Walz has been able to raise a lot of money, and we now know where a lot of it comes from, the Somalian community. Kamala Harris picks him out of nowhere, and on day one, as her running mate, he raises a ton of money. 1 + 1 = 2. The telephone number to reach me right now, 800-848-9222. It's sad, again, the loss of human life. But I told you folks as soon as this happened. You know, Stephen A. Smith has said the same thing now. Quite a few people. there should be no charges against this ICE officer. He did nothing wrong. In fact, he shouldn't even be off of duty unless it's for his own good, for his mental health, to get over this. The man did nothing wrong. If I thought he did something wrong, I'd be the first to tell you. And now we know that the victim, and again, I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but the victim, she's a mother, 6-year-old child, Renee Nicole Good, and even more, her wife, they were antagonizing these ICE officers, right? So where did the video come from? Apparently from the officer that fired the fatal shot. Listen to this.
I'm not mad, boy. Show your face. I'm not mad. It's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the
car. Now, I want to play that one more time, and I want you to listen carefully. Does that sound, you got to listen to all the ambience and all the background noise. Does that sound like an agent that was out there to execute someone? If you listen carefully, you hear him panic. He goes, whoa! And then you hear bang, bang, the shots. I want you to listen again, and I want you to listen to the nasty tone of the wife. You know, oh, she's standing there crying as her wife was just killed. I don't mean to mock her. But again, the wife is antagonizing these agents. What is the left going to say now? What are they going to say now? I want you to listen one more time, but please listen carefully and listen. Clearly, the agent thought, the ICE agent, that he was going to be run over as you hear him say, whoa. Listen very, very carefully, folks.
I'm not mad, boy. Show your face. I'm not mad. It's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
You hear the agent say, whoa. You hear the wife antagonizing them. You want to come at us, big boy? You want to come at us, big boy? Go get some lunch. But by the time the media gets a hold of this and the left, it's kumbaya. 2 innocent victims attacked by the horrible ICE agents. What are they going to say now? What are they going to say now that this video is out? President Trump was correct in assessing this situation. The vice president was correct in assessing this situation. What are they going to say now? I'll give you a clue, an indication. All of this posturing that's going on, we're about to start with your telephone calls. The district attorney in Philadelphia, Larry Krasner, I want you to listen to what this guy has to say. He's warning ICE agents, the district attorney himself, that he is going to arrest them.
If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here. Because if you do that here, I will charge you with those crimes. You will be arrested. You will stand trial. You will be convicted, whether it's in state or federal court. It's my office prosecuting it. That's how the law works. And you will do your time, because Donald Trump cannot pardon you for a state court conviction. Do you hear me, ICE agents? Do you hear me, National Guard? Do you hear me, military? You're going to jail if you commit crimes in the city of Philadelphia. You will be accountable. The law applies to all of you. And I know that there are honest, decent, moral law enforcement officers out there by the bushel, including in ICE. This is not for you. This is for any one of your colleagues who thinks they are above the law.
Now, do you ever hear these district attorneys in these far-left cities talk that hard against the criminals? Absolutely not. 800-848-9222. But he wants to posture against federal agents. Mike in Virginia, line 5. Mike, on this Friday, what's on your mind?
How you doing, Dominic? Calling from Virginia today. Great show. I've been listening to you for years. Unbelievable. The extreme violence going from, east, west, north, and south. Camp on Tim in Minnesota, in Seattle, resistance and to ICE. And it's just, it's just a springboard effect. People are just going to extremes from the far left of the aisle where they walk. And it's craziness. It's craziness.
Absolute craziness. And I'm just hoping this video will, and thank you for the call, will put this to rest. Again, it's unfortunate the woman lost her life. There's nobody to blame for this except for her wife and herself. Stephen in Virginia, line 2. What's on your mind, Stephen?
Thanks for taking my call, Dominic. Originally, when I called you the other day, it was regarding what your topic was. Hey,
Stephen, do me a favor. I'm short on time, and I got a hard break in a minute. You got to get to your point. I don't have time for the spare talk. Go ahead, please.
First of all, regarding this lady who was shot, it's called suicide by cop. When a cop
no, that's not what she did. Come on, that's not what she did. Do you have a point you want to make, Stephen?
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead,
anyway,
please.
So when you're talking about the Muslim call to prayer, and that
Stephen, you're taking the show into a whole other direction. Look, Stephen, thank you for the call. Let's go to Kenny, Staten Island, line 4. What's on your mind, Kenny?
How are you, Dominic? I haven't spoken to you before the New Year's. I just wanted to wish you a happy and a healthy New Year to you and your family. As far as this shooting with this woman and her other woman, they have so much time to be out there trying to kill a law enforcement officer. She has children. Did she once think of her family and her children? These people are mentally disturbed. I feel bad for the children because they have no chance.
You know what? You are correct. They are mentally disturbed. Nobody wants to say that. The lifestyle, every way you want to look at this. And, I just wish I had time to continue with you right now. I just don't because I'm up against the break. Thank you for the wonderful call. Time for a break on this Friday. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Cell phones are a good thing. They're a wonderful thing because it not only works against law enforcement, as those on the left thought, it vindicates law enforcement, as in the case here of Renee Nicole Good and the despicable behavior of her wife. And they thought they were just giving ICE a hard time, a difficult time. We're going to play the audio again in a few minutes. It's very important to hear. Let's go to Judith in Brooklyn, line 1. Judith, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Lots on my mind. But let me go to what I heard yesterday. And then I heard about a poem that she got first place on. So Renee, to me, is not so good because she was basically in this poem. It was a disgusting poem. And I heard that she's the kind of person that would collect Bibles, trash Bibles, tear them up. And in the poem, there she is trashing Bibles and saying she's tearing them up and whatever. If you would substitute Quran instead of Bible, see how far she would have gotten with that. But the Bible, that she can trash. So guess what? I hate to say this. I don't care what people think. But I'm here to speak up for God's honor, all right? She threw away Bibles, and unfortunately, she had a choice. she threw away her life. Do not.
Okay, but wait, Judith. How do you know she did these things and wrote this poem?
Because it's printed. Greg Kelly before read the whole poem.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care who read it. I don't care who read it. How do you know she wrote it?
Because I heard that it was printed in the paper. Everyone heard it. Let me just also say, Dominic.
Because see, wait, Judith. Until I can verify that, I don't care whose show you heard it on. Until I can verify that, I'm not comfortable with going with that. Now, maybe it is true. Maybe it's true. But I have not heard of this as of yet. Go ahead, continue, please.
Oh, Dominic, hi, because I didn't hear you. You were taken off. I want to tell you something. If she would have run over that agent and killed him, she would be hailed as a heroine for sure, okay? And another thing also, a federal ICE agent is allowed to use lethal force against lethal threat, and that car was a lethal threat.
Any law enforcement officer is permitted by law to use deadly force if their life is threatened or if they feel imminent danger, they feel threatened. Not just ICE, any law enforcement officer. We've seen it historically for decades. Go ahead, Judith.
Dominic, and to your great point yesterday, guys, you had a great show yesterday. Fantastic callers. And one guy was like very into handguns, and he could tell that this cop had seconds to figure out. And you said, to your point, and it's a phenomenal point, what if that car would have veered either to the left following him or to the right? You have no idea what this crazy woman was ready to do. Instead of getting out of her car and behaving herself, she was like pushing the gas and doing crazy stuff. And the way you said it, he had seconds. If that car would have followed him left or right, and it's snowing, he could slip. God knows what could have happened to him, okay? So the whole thing is, and you know something else? Videos do not show the actual real thing in real life. I can tell you right now. A video is very hard to see what you see in real life as far as how far, how near, whatever, okay? So as far as I'm concerned, he had every right. He was defending himself. You have no idea. The fact that he said, whoa, he figured he's in front of her car. She's not stupid enough to run him over. And all of a sudden, there she is going after him. And like you said, if he would, that car is like a 2-ton, who knows what. He can't.
It's instant death. If she goes towards him. This was not suicide. I got to take a break, Judith. Thank you for the call. This was not suicide by cop. This is why I cut that first caller off earlier. She was clearly trying. They thought they were going to harass ICE and just get away and then do it again and continue to do this all day. They have nobody to blame but themselves for what happened. This ICE officer did absolutely nothing wrong. We're coming right back.
Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we are back. So we just spoke live to Judith, and she brought up a poem that apparently indeed Renee Nicole Good did write. But this proves my point, folks, of why I don't like comments coming up on this show based on what somebody else, another host said in another show. I don't know if that host, no matter who it may be, has the same standards that I have. I go on facts and not speculation, not spin. And based on what I'm seeing right now, because I'm put in a very uncomfortable position to comment on this when I haven't had time to research this. She wrote a poem on learning to dissect fetal pigs, and it's apparently about biological pigs from what I can see thus far. I don't see anything thus far that's offensive, but this proves my point of why I do not like. If this was discussed during Greg's show, discuss it with Greg. Please don't bring it to me. Because if I haven't had a chance to research this, I'm in a very uncomfortable position right now to comment on something that I don't know. And I'm not going to do that. I don't know what standards other hosts have. I have the highest of standards in this program. If I discuss it, I know it to be fact. So she did write it. But as of right now, and again, this could change by 11 p.m. when I'm on tonight or Sunday night. As of right now, I don't see anything offensive. It's about dissecting pigs that and then I was even looking for a reference of was she trying to say it's police, and I just don't see that as of right now. But what's interesting, and folks, if I spoke to you yesterday's show or yesterday, please give others an opportunity to get through, please. Here's what I want to focus on. Mom Donnie. This guy, as far as I'm concerned, has had the week from hell. An absolute embarrassment. The only good news that came out of the week, Governor Hochul apparently has come through with the money to fund the universal child care that includes now toddlers for I believe it's a 2-year period. But what does Mom Donnie do? Boy, does this guy love the cameras. He goes and does an interview playing up the immigrant experience, which is cool, which is fine. Not really my cup of tea, but it's fine. Okay. But then denouncing the Trump administration and referring to what happened in Minnesota as murder. No, Mr. Mayor, you got to choose your words more carefully. Or maybe he did think that he was choosing them carefully.
Ours is a city government that will stand with immigrants today and for every day hereafter. And it's also a city government that's going to follow the law and actually follow our sanctuary city policies. You know, a few weeks ago, I sat down for 12 hours and listened to New Yorkers as they came up and shared their stories with me. And a few of them were undocumented New Yorkers. And they told me of the fear that they live with each and every day, the anxiety when they say goodbye to a loved one of whether it'll be the last time. And it is my job as the mayor of New York City to take care of everyone who calls the city home. And just to think about the family of that woman who was murdered, it's to understand just one glimpse into what has been a year of cruelty. And I've said it directly to the president, and I'll say it directly as well to anyone who will listen, which is that these ICE raids are cruel and inhumane, and they do nothing to actually serve the interests of public safety.
So that's our mayor, the socialist mayor. Don't forget his aide, by the way, that wants to take you home, especially if you're white, for the collective good. But the vice president doing an outstanding job yesterday, putting this incident in full view of what actually happened. This ICE agent shouldn't lose a day's work. It's ugly, the video, but he did nothing wrong. This is the vice president discussing the incident.
I said next question.
Mr. Vice President, I mean, you presumably watched the video yourself. There's not the slightest doubt in your mind, having viewed it, that the victim, you still believe that she deliberately tried to ram him despite seeing this video?
Look, I don't know what is in a person's heart or in a person's head, and obviously we're not going to get the chance to ask this woman what was going on. What I am certain of is that she violated the law. What I'm certain of is that officer had every reason to think that he was under very serious threat for injury or in fact, his life. What I'm certain of is that she accelerated in a way where she ran into the guy. I don't know what was in her heart and what was in her head, but I know that she violated the law, and I know that officer was acting in self-defense. It raises an interesting point, though. Look, if people want to say that we should have a legitimate debate about, what was she really doing, right? Was she panicking when she drove into this officer, or was she actually trying to ram him? That's a reasonable conversation. What's not reasonable is for so many of you to plaster all over the media that this was an innocent woman and that the ICE agent committed murder, which is what many of you have said explicitly and some of you have said implicitly. That's what I have an objection to. The idea that this was not justified is absurd, and I think everybody knows it in their heart. Yeah.
And now, as we started the show, we're about to start with your telephone calls. The video has emerged from the officer involved, right? The ICE agent involved, in which Renee Nicole Good, you see her wife, and you're going to hear her antagonizing the ICE agents. And again, as I said at the top of the show, listen, because if this goes to a jury, it's going to point to intent. You're going to hear him say, whoa, where it's a natural human reaction where he doesn't know. It's clear he doesn't know what she's doing with this vehicle. Now you have to listen carefully. You're going to hear the wife literally in a nasty way antagonizing these ICE officers. And then listen carefully. You're going to hear him go, whoa. That alone points to his intent in a criminal trial that he had no idea what she was going to do. And then you hear the gunshots.
I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. It's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Whoa! And now one more time, Carlos, something else just happened, right, that I just heard for the first time. I'm hearing this the same way you folks are. I haven't had time to analyze this. Not only does he say, whoa, but listen, you're going to hear a thump, a bump. What is that bump? Is that the bump when the vehicle brushes up against him? I don't know. And this is what I'm listening to this in real time the same way you are. But I am telling you folks that the agent saying, whoa, that points to intent right there, that he had no idea what this woman was about to do with this vehicle. One more time, Carlos.
I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. It's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Whoa! So it was not suicide by cop. That's got to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. What it was is they were playing a high stakes game of chicken with these law enforcement officers. And anybody in their right mind knows you don't play games with the outstanding men and women of law enforcement of our country. They're not there to entertain you or to play games. What they do for a living is serious as serious gets in terms of business. What they have to deal with each and every day. And so, I really want to hear how the left is going to spin this tape now that it's been released. This lady was not a victim. She was not a victim. She didn't know. They were playing a high stakes game of chicken. And the wife clearly tells her to drive off, right? So that she doesn't get arrested. And then you heard what she said at the top. We're American citizens. So in other words, you can't touch us. We can stand here all day antagonizing you, making a bad assumption because they can touch you. They can touch any of us, meaning place you under arrest. That's why the other agents say get out of the car. Let's go back to your telephone calls here. Let's see. Let's go to Tony, Long Island, line 2. Tony, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, how you doing? I'd like to sum this up for you. What happened to the respect for law enforcement, whether you like them or you don't? They got a dangerous job to do. And most of these Democratic leaders are brainwashing these people instead of getting the real facts. It's a horrible and disgusting world we're in today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But this has been in the making for many, many years. This goes beyond George Floyd. This goes back to this has been building from the 70s of disrespect of law enforcement. And Tony, you bring up a good point. I always, whenever I see a police officer, the first thing I do is say thank you. And they thank you for what you're doing. Cause people will walk up to them. They could walk up to them and pull out a gun. They don't know what's going to happen. These law enforcement officers. The other day I was, at a train station, New Jersey Transit, in Secaucus, right? And, this sergeant, transit police, he's going to pay for his food. And I really wanted to step up and pay for it, but I don't, but that's my little way of saying thank you. But I know that they have rules and that, they're not supposed to accept certain things. But we've got to get back to the day of supporting law enforcement. They are our last line of defense against all of this nuttiness that exists out here. Thank you for the call, Tony. Let's go to Bob, line 5, Staten Island. Bob, what's on your mind?
Yeah, hi, Dominic. I just wanted to say that your argument defending the ICE agent doesn't make any sense. I mean, the fact that this spouse of the driver was verbally yelling or screaming at the cops, and then the ICE agent that killed the woman and said, "Whoa!" I mean, that's a silly argument. How can you even mention this? It's a pathetic thing
Okay,
to say.
so tell me, I guarantee you, if this goes to a jury, that "whoa" alone will acquit this officer. I guarantee you. Now you tell me, since you're saying my assessment is silly, you give me yours.
Yeah, my assessment is that the spouse was yelling at the cop, and then the cop took it personally, though, and then he shot.
No. I didn't ask you for the tape. I'm asking you for your assessment of what happened.
I'm giving you my assessment because that's what I saw on the tape.
Okay, so what I'm asking you is, so you think that this lady is an innocent victim?
Of course. She was trying to get away from the ICE agents.
Dominic is done with you.
Stop wasting my time. Let's go to John, Floral Park on line 4. John, what's on your mind?
Thanks for taking the call, Dominic. The driver showed her intent when she accelerated. Her partner was trying at that time to get in the door. She was trying to open the door and go away with her. She didn't even know what the driver was going to do.
And that's another excellent point. That's another excellent point.
Accelerator.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Okay, she hits the accelerator, and then her friend says, drive. But at that moment,
her wife.
She thought they were going
That's
together.
her wife. Hey, you know what, John, in this world, we got to be politically correct. It's woman on woman, but that's her wife. This is the new world that we live in. It's no longer just man and woman. That was her wife. Anyway, go ahead.
And so she shows that, she didn't even know she was trying to get in the passenger door at the time the woman accelerated.
Right. And you're correct. There's not a jury in America that will convict this officer. This won't even, I don't see an indictment unless it's political. I don't see anything. This officer did absolutely nothing wrong. I'm not just saying that. Stephen A. Smith of ESPN is saying that anybody that's reasonable that looks at the tape will reach the same conclusion. Thank you for the call, John. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thought of the day on this Friday. The left has been completely shut down on this Renee Nicole Good situation. They're going to act like this new video doesn't exist, but clearly, and you just heard that nutty caller a second ago saying it shows nothing. You hear the officer say, whoa, he has no idea what she's about to do with that vehicle. As that 2,000-pound vehicle could be coming his way. Instant death. It now turns out she's on tape, the wife that is, stating, they're antagonizing the agent, stating to her wife that ended up dead, drive, baby, drive, just moments before the fatal shooting. So if you want to blame somebody, Miss Wife, go look in the mirror. Line 5, Gracie, Rockland County. Gracie, on this Friday, what's on your mind?
On my mind is it's only the United States isn't allowed to have immigration laws. Other countries have them, and if you break them, they put you in jail. That's
Absolutely.
Number one. Number two, now we're going to babysit more children. Are these mothers going to go to work when they get this extended child care?
Of course not,
Or are they
Gracie.
just going to sit home and do nothing?
Sit home and do nothing. You know what time it is, Gracie. And matter of fact, they'll time out the pregnancies now. You know what time it is. Gracie? Oh, Gracie is gone. Okay. Let's go to Drea, line 4 in Huntington. Drea, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. You're so on point with your view, and what I've seen in the tape
the officer actually gets clipped by the car.
He does,
you know,
get clipped.
And people are saying, why didn't he shoot at the tires? I mean, people have to be insane to think in that split second. You're just protecting your own life at that point in time.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know what people are thinking. It's insanity.
Hey, Drea, and this is why sometimes I have short patience. Stay with me for a second. So many years ago, the police department sent me to the academy and they sent me to the Rodman's Neck. They simulate situations. Officers are trained to shoot for the largest mass of body. That's such a myth that always happens. Why didn't you shoot him in the leg or shoot him in the arm or in the wrist? Why didn't you do that? Because there's a good chance you're going to miss. And then there's an innocent bystander that's hit. They are trained to shoot for the largest mass of body. And so it's horrible, what happened here. But these two wives, they have no one else to blame. I'm not making a judgment, on their lifestyle because Lord knows I could, but I don't want to face any criticism from my friends in the gay community. What is this world coming to? I started out the week doing a story about a transgender, in the stall of the women's bathroom masturbating, caught by a woman. And I'm ending the week with this horrible shooting, and I gotta figure out which one is the wife, which one is the husband. Is it two wives? What do you say when it's a lesbian couple and they're married? Are they legally married or they just say they're married? I gotta figure all this stuff out on the fly live. And it makes your head twist. Dino in Queens, line 2. Dino, what's on your mind?
Dominic?
Yes, Dino, hello? Go, please.
Oh, okay. So, boy. Okay, so, what I saw the ICE officers doing, if you noticed, they weren't really stepping. When they're around the car, it was slippery. There's a lot of ice on the floor, so they had to position their feet like they were sliding a little bit. Because if they lost their balance...
Dino, that's been said a million times. So do you have something you want to say?
Yeah. I don't feel sorry for her. I'm sorry, Dominic. I don't go that way. I don't feel sorry for her. She got what she deserves.
No, she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. The officer didn't deserve... Go ahead, Dino. The officer didn't deserve what happened to him either. But go ahead, Dino.
That I'm just going to say, and I hope they're listening out there, the rest of those punks think that they're going to raise hell to the ICE officers and everybody out there trying to protect the public. Well, guess what? It could happen again. So don't be a statistic. That's what I want to say.
All right, Dino, thank you for the call. Folks, let me say right here, right now on this Friday, I want you to have a lovely weekend. Mind over matter. Stay positive. I will be back at 11 p.m. Eastern tonight on the Rita Cosby Show from 11 until midnight, taking your live calls. And, folks, we do want to say this, that help America to never forget. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact by donating your car or land. Go to T2T.org. Again, have a great weekend. I'm back 11 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder, what the heck is going on here?
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.